Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's installment of the Microsoft Pulse. Today we have with us Tamara and Tom. Both Jennifer and Adam are out supporting clients right now and are unable to join us, but we'll take you through the roadmap and tell you what to expect and how it can impact you. Tom, why don't you go ahead and get us started in development? These are things that Microsoft is working on and is getting ready to roll out.
Okay, so Outlook definitely got some love this week. I'm going to take a couple of the items towards the bottom end of the in development list. One of them is Outlook dictation support, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Dictation allows you to use speech to text to author messages in Outlook with a microphone and reliable internet connection. It's a quick and easy way to draft emails, send replies, and capture the tone you're going for. I like the idea of being able just to click the microphone and talk and have it actually put that email together for me without me having to type. I can see this is probably something that'd be really good if you had, this appears to be Outlook client, so you probably wouldn't be driving if you're using the Outlook client. But again, if for some reason, your hands hurt, you just don't want to deal with it, you've got a larger one, you don't feel like typing, just being able to dictate the message.
Or you have a broken arm.
Or you have a broken arm. There's that too. Or if you just want to dictate a lot of information to get it all out there in text to begin with and then go clean it up afterwards, this is a great feature. It looks like it's coming to worldwide and it should be out this month. Then we also have expand and collapse folders. They say stay organized and navigate easily by expanding or collapsing your nested mail folders using the chevron button on the right of the folder row. Now it says Outlook Worldwide, but it has two entries for it that are basically identical. So I'm wondering if they're talking about iOS and Android Outlook clients, because that's usually what they do if they are actually talking the web-based and they've got, the changes they want to make for iOS and the changes they want to make for Android. Plus, I think you can already expand and collapse folders anyway within your Outlook client. So keep an eye open for that. That should also be out this month. And then, or October, close enough. And then Outlook, notification for app mentions in mail and documents. Now you'll receive a notification when your app mentioned in an email, document, or a loop component. To view your notifications, tap the bell icon in the upper right of the message list. I know I see that icon up there. I rarely ever go look at it, but I think that's kind of a nice way to be able to say, hey, somebody mentioned me in a loop component, somebody mentioned me in an email, and you can click that bell icon up in the corner, and it's going to give you a real quick thing of saying, oh, look, I missed that somewhere because I've got 500 emails that I haven't read yet. Just go ahead and click that and go right to it. So that's another change that's coming also in October, and it's coming to worldwide. So those are things that kind of cause me to be somewhat happy about the roadmap this week.
Great. I've got one. SharePoint out of the box document library templates.
This one's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So remember back in the day, you used to have list and library templates. And now we've gone for a while without library templates, but Microsoft is now bringing the goodness of list templates to SharePoint document libraries. Creating document libraries will now be a breeze with our ready-made templates with scenario relevant content, structure, metadata, and content types, all to save you time and maintain broader consistency across your content management organization. So I thought that was interesting. And then Viva got a ton of love in development. Just a ton. Here's just some of the things. New search experience in the Viva Learning modules. Sort search results by ratings in Viva Learning. Viva App Bar integration into Viva Learning web app. Increase synergy. I want to be the person who put that word in a sentence. Increase synergy of Viva Learning web apps and team apps, so users will be able to easily switch within Viva Learning Teams app and the web application. Meeting protection supports on Team Rooms on Android. That wasn't about Viva, but it was immersed in between Vivas. Viva Learning web app domain update to learning.cloud.microsoft. Language selection for users in Viva Learning, and spell check. So user queries will be spell checked and corrected for all in-app searches. And level filter in Viva Learning. This means that users can filter content based on the proficiency level of the content, beginner, intermediate, or advanced. And standardization of Viva Learning web app links. There's also the engaged network analysis, which means the new analytics capability is going to help users understand engagement trends across the entire organization. So network analytics provides an at-a-glance overview of your organization's top usage trends, including employee sentiment, cross-community insights, and AI-powered summarizations to help you stay up to date with all the activity that occurs within your company. And then also engage community analytics. It updates to the community analytics and will allow community admins to better understand engagement trends, reach, and the top conversations that occur within their communities. And then there's even more, but I'm not going to go into it because it just keeps going.
Apparently, they had a lot of announcements for stuff with Viva coming out.
Yes. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about in development, sir?
Couple that I'll just mention, and they're minor in the sense that they won't affect you in most situations. But for admins, this may be really a good thing. In Microsoft Teams, in-meeting error messaging. So Microsoft Team meeting users will be notified directly through the error message for why they cannot access meeting chats when their chat access is limited by policy or due to system limitations or
I think that's
unexpected
brilliant.
errors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now it's only going to be available in the new Teams experience, not the classic Teams. But I think that's great because sometimes the error messages can be rather generic and you're like, why can't I get in? The admin gets pinged. The admin's like, oh, I can't get in. So having more information as to why, either due to policies or whatever, I think is a very good thing. It should lead to faster troubleshooting and less frustration. The other thing is Outlook, new feedback experience. So the feedback entry point in Outlook on the web moves from the bottom of the help pane up to the top of the pane because let's keep moving around so nobody can find it. Streamlined experience, diagnostic log collection, and the ability to add screenshots and videos make it easier and quicker for users to describe their feedback and helps Microsoft to act on it. I like this next part. Also, users can search for information related to their feedback, including updates on features under development, workarounds for problems, and how-to from help. This change obeys the general feedback policy. So again, if you've got an issue that you want to report to Microsoft or things like that, this is going to make it a lot easier to put additional information out there and also to get additional information that may relate to what you just reported. So that's a good thing. It's supposed to come out in October and it's going out to Outlook worldwide.
Great.
That's
Anything
really it for
else
me.
in development?
Nope. I'm ready to
All right, let's
roll on to
roll
rolling
on,
out.
rolling out. Oh my God, did we really just say that at the same
I
time?
think we did. I saw what we just did there.
All right, since you started off in development, I'll start off with rolling out. So Microsoft Teams click-through collaborative annotations layer. So users are now able to click through the annotation layer to interact with content in meetings without restarting the current annotation session. So note, we are postponing the rollout of this feature at this time, and it will only be available in the new Teams experience. We apologize for any inconvenience. And that's set to come out for all tenants in December of 2023.
I was going to say, I never have used annotation layers very much,
No,
but I
I
like
haven't
the
either.
fact that you can move things around underneath
Mm-hmm.
instead of having to say, stop, start a new one, stop, start a new
Right.
one. So I like this feature. we ever
I
get to
think it'll
start
come in
using
handy.
meditation. Yeah.
And then should be here, September. The Office documents have a new default theme. So a new default theme is being applied to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook across your endpoints. The new theme will include new default font, Aptos,
Aptos.
and a new color palette, and update default line weights.
It's pretty subtle. It's really subtle.
I have not noticed the difference.
Henceforth, why it is really subtle. Yeah. And I think, by and large, a lot of people aren't going to notice it all, but there's going to be a few people who go, this doesn't look right. Something's wrong. It's like, yep, that's what it probably is. Don't freak out.
Be obsessive. God, you're being obsessive,
Exactly.
Victor. Be. All right,
I've
what
got
do you have, Tom?
two things that I'll mention. Outlook, inking in new Outlook for Windows and the web. So this is going to enable you, assuming you have a touch-enabled device, to add a canvas to your message and draw with your finger, which is always a bad thing, a digital mouse or a digital pen or a mouse. So this is nice in the fact that if you're trying to, it's almost like a whiteboard in an email, in the fact that you can say, hey, I'm going to put this canvas in the body of my email, and I'm going to use my finger to jot something down, or my pen, so it actually can be readable instead of a big fat crayon type marking, things like that. And it will actually send with that canvas in the email. So it gives you a little bit more of, hey, I did something like in an iPad and I'm sending it to somebody. They can actually see what it looks like as you were doing it, rather than, oh, I'm in a laptop that doesn't have touch enabled stuff. I can't see what you did because I can't look at all this touch enabled stuff. So that's enabled for the web and the new Outlook for Windows, which is being rolled out. It's going to have all sorts of cool whistles and bells and be better than the Outlook client that comes within Microsoft 365, we hope. And then the other one that I think is really cool, and I can't wait till it actually hits our tenant because I want to play with it, and that is Planner, the Planner component in Microsoft Loop. So users of Planner and Loop will be able to bring their plans into Loop-enabled apps as a Planner component. Using the power of Loop, you'll be able to view and edit a plan within Planner's board view in context with your other work. The component will first be available in the Loop app. Support for other Loop-enabled apps will follow, such as, I'm assuming, Teams and Outlook and Word and all those things. But I love the idea of being able to say, hey, I'm on a whiteboard. I'm going to have this, stuff going on within my team. And oh, I want to bring part of this planner over because there's a task and I want us to collaborate on it together. And that loop component is going to be able to sit in that whiteboard. It's going to be able to be updated there. It's going to update the actual team item or the actual loop item. It's the actual planner item itself. If you then posted it to Teams, that would be also updating the same source there. I just think this is really cool. And again, it shows that they're pushing the mindset of what you can do with Loop beyond what the original stuff was. And I think that's a really good thing because we're really starting to see the promise of what it will deliver now.
Great. All right, let's go into launch. A lot of changes for Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. So one is, Tom, do you mind if I just take these?
Oh, go for it.
All right, data lifecycle management. So the scope the administration of retention and retention label policies. Organizations can leverage administrative units in Azure Active Directory to define who can configure and manage policies in Microsoft Purview. This update will include the ability to set a records management admin for a specific geography, department, or other unit who can manage retention and retention label policies for their unit. So that's pretty big. And then also label footers enhancement for emails. This is happening just in the government clouds. And when labels are configured to add footers, currently the footers accumulate at the very bottom of long email chains. So this enhancement now adds the footer at the bottom of the most recent reply instead of at the bottom of the entire email thread. So note that this feature supports emails formatted as HTML or plain text. Support for rich text email formats is legacy and will not be improved in Outlook. For emails formatted as rich text, label footers will continue to accumulate at the bottom of the email threads as before. And then finally, the policy template limit increase. It's increasing the policy templates. So with the maximum policies for each insider risk policy template increases from 5 to 20. I mean, that's a big leap.
Yeah.
So that'll help people out a lot. Tom, do you want to take canceled? We have 2 items in canceled.
Sure, I would love to. So Microsoft Teams approval graph APIs. So the approval graph API allows developers to create and manage approvals from any application. It's in private preview and apparently was canceled. So I don't know if that means that it was in private preview, they finished, they decided, not going to do this, and it's now canceled, or whether they canceled it while it was in private preview because for some reason, usually they'll come up and say, this has been delayed indefinitely or whatever, but they don't really give any explanation as to why this one was canceled. And it's kind of the same way with the second one, which is resource teams, resource specific consent apps. Admins will be allowed to pre-approve apps using resource specific consent, also known as RSC permissions, so that users can install them even when RSC is otherwise turned off. That too has been canceled. Again, there's no real explanation in the description, so I can't tell you why, can't tell you whether it's just postponed. It's just flat out canceled. So those are the only 2 items we had on the canceled list this week.
Fabulous. And that's the roadmap for the week. I hope you found the information helpful. Tom and I are glad to bring the information to you. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.